Welcome to Cooper MMA. I'm Mark Gilston, this is Sean Cooper, and this afternoon I thought we would discuss some of the basic foot sweeps. There are two very closely related judo techniques, Ashi Barai, which is the advancing foot sweep, and Harai Tsuri Komi Ashi, which is the sweeping, lifting, pulling foot throw. And really the only major difference is my partner coming forward or is he moving backwards. But there are some subtle variations which I feel make these throws much more effective, much easier to do. Now, both of these are very much timing techniques, and therefore they take a lot of practice to get them in an actual randori situation. But they're both very applicable to BJJ as well as, of course, fundamental in judo. So, Ashi Barai, in both of these throws, the off-balancing, the kuzushi, has a lot more to do with natural movement than actually forcing your opponent. So you normally do these throws when your opponent is moving because he is moving and he's trying to get you off balance at the same time. So if Sean is trying to get me off balance by pushing me backwards, I'm going to step to the side, and as he continues his step, I catch him right behind the heel. Now, with any foot sweep, it's extremely important that I keep my legs straight, and I want to point my toe. Pointing the toe is going to make this part of the foot stronger, and so I'll have more power moving up and down. If my foot is flexed, I have more power sideways because it strengthens the calf. So for the foot sweeps, I want my toe pointed so that I have power because that's the direction I'm going to be going. I also want to make sure I'm always sweeping with the sole of my foot, with the bottom of my foot, because I don't want to injure my instep and I don't want to injure his shin. So I like to take this little side step to get out of his way. One of my old senseis used to say, make a hole and drop your opponent in the hole. And so here we have a hole in front of me, and as he steps and I catch him, obviously he loses his balance. Now, the hands have to work. With my right hand, I pull sharply down, my left hand lifts under the elbow. So at full speed, now I want to try and keep my foot as low to the ground as possible when I'm doing this technique. There's a natural tendency to follow his foot, but if I do that, I have to get him way, way up in the air. If I just keep my foot on the ground, it's possible I'll catch his opposite foot, which is going to be equally effective once his foot has risen. If he's on one foot and I catch the back one, he's still going to go down. And the momentum will be much, much stronger. So in this case, I missed the foot, and it didn't matter. Because I'm keeping my foot low, I get more extension. Sometimes you don't have the opportunity to go to the side. So he may be turning or planning, he can do something surprising, right? We're coming in, but he's starting to attack with his throw, and he turns me. That doesn't matter. I don't necessarily have to get out of the way, but if I don't, I want to make sure that I still catch him. Unlike Ashi Barai, the sliding foot throw, I do not want to bring this foot into that foot necessarily. It's not critical here, and therefore it's not even a consideration. Because if I try and do this and he gets his foot out of the way, I just hurt myself. Another option for doing this throw is particularly for learning it, which I found useful, is a box step. So sometimes when you're trying to set somebody up for a technique, you'll come in and turn them. You take one foot, one step back and turn. And he might be doing that to me, same idea. So you're pulling me back and turning to set me up, right? If he does that, I can do this throw, right? So it's a nice opportunity. We can practice it in both directions. I can practice it with me being the aggressor or with him being the aggressor. So if I'm the aggressor, it's a natural setup. But if he's doing it, it's still natural.
Beautiful.
So the Ashi Barai works anytime there's any kind of forward motion doing this foot sweep. Now, there is a counter technique, which is sort of like a super Deashi Barai. So if he's coming to sweep me, I get my foot out of the way and then respond by sweeping him. This is called the Swallowtail reversal, Tsubani Gaeshi, and it's a very nice technique. It's very nice to work on it because if you can get it, you can really surprise people. So Sean's going to do the Ashi Barai to me, okay, and I'm going to be mean. So what I'm doing is, as he sweeps, I come out of the way and sweep. It's still important to keep my foot straight. It's straight, I come in, and immediately I'm straight again. And now I'm under him instead of him under me. So one more time. Okay, so Harai Tsuri Komi Ashi is a very similar kind of sweep, excepting this time my partner or my opponent is moving backwards instead of forwards. And here I do want to bring one foot into the other, and I like to start this with what I call a pump. So I bend my foot and then straighten it as I push one foot into the other foot. As the name would suggest, Tsuri Komi, it's important that I lift and pull him forward. So even though he's going backwards, I'm going to bring him up on his toes towards me. At the same time, I'm going to push one foot into the other using the sole of my foot. Once again, if I don't catch the front foot, usually it's not a big deal because the momentum is there. Just like the Ashi Barai, this can happen from the same kind of box step, but this time he's actively pulling me into him with the box.
Again.
So with these two throws, pretty much any kind of movement on the ground, and you can throw your opponent. Now, they're not necessarily going to work, particularly, as I said, these are both timing techniques and they take a lot of experience. But what they will do is, if your opponent is worried about them, they will set you up for other techniques. So when I come in for the Ashi Barai, see, he's now leaning forward. I can do a sacrifice, I can do a hip throw, depending upon what my inclination is. I did a video on Yoko Wakari, the side separation. It's perfect for this.
Nice.
But a hip throw works just as well if I don't want to commit myself to the ground. So just the fact that I've done some kind of a foot sweep evokes a reaction, and I can use that reaction. It's important that your foot sweep is real. If I just try and fake it, I'm not getting any reaction. All right, at least not from a black belt. So it has to be a genuine attack. And then I will get a genuine reaction. Okay.
Excellent.
So a nice overview of the two basic moving foot sweeps. The Ashi Barai, Harai Tsuri Komi Ashi. All right.
Thank you.
If you've enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe to our channel, Serioku Zenyo. That means maximum efficiency. If you click on the bell, you'll get the videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you, Sean.